I'm sure most of us have heard about red flags. We've heard one person talk about red flags, we've read it in articles, we've seen it on the internet, we've probably said that word. But what does this red flag actually mean? This is what I'll be discussing today on my podcast, The Child in Me. Hi, my name is Omo, and this is The Child in Me. Welcome back to a new episode of my podcast. I guess it's quite some time I've posted on this platform, and yes, life happens. As adults, you know what we say, that it's a scam. Actually, we'll be going into this topic of adulthood is a scam. But for now, we're discussing red flags. Have you ever sat down to ask, what does this red flag mean to me? Because when we're talking as the woke world we are in now, the enlightened world, let me put it that way. We use red flag a lot, like, didn't you see the red flag before you jumped into the relationship? Didn't you see that red flag before you decided to start going out with this person or to marry this particular person? Have we ever sat down to ask ourselves, like, to me, Okpeoluwa Omo, what does red flag mean to me? What do I mean when I use this word called red flag? Have you ever sat down to just have a deep thought about it? I know people use this word a lot, but we should reason and think. Before you get to the red flag, there's this caution sign. Often it comes with a yellow tape. It's a caution sign. Didn't I see this yellow flag before jumping into it or jumping past it to meet the red flag in front? If I would summarize this, I'll just put it this way. Sometimes we decide to overlook the yellow tape and jump into the red flag, thinking this particular person will change, or if I do this or that, it will make this person change their behavior or attitude towards me. The sad truth is, there is always a caution sign. There's always a yellow tape surrounding that place that's telling us, do you wish to go further? Are you willing to go further? Or tread carefully. Don't lose guard before getting to that red tape that says danger. But most of the time, as human, of course, we decide to go past the yellow tape and be like, we can handle this. Why am I even saying this? Because most of us jump the yellow traffic light, even when the traffic light shows the yellow, warning us that, okay, be ready to stop. We just jump past it like, I can meet up. If you're guilty, just raise up your left hand and say, Father Lord, help me. This yellow sign or the yellow traffic light means caution. It means just hold on, take a break, breathe in, have a deep breath before jumping, before going further. We know the red sign or the red light in the traffic light says stop. That is a traffic light. But then the yellow tape, especially where there's danger, it's telling us to be cautious. Actually, it's not telling us not to go, but it's telling us to tread carefully, go softly, don't be too hard on yourself, and prepare yourself for what is to come. Be careful. This place you're going to, be careful. There might be some dangers, there might be dangerous stones, there might be thorns on the floor. Just step carefully. Look further. Don't lose guard. Try to be cautious. Don't just barge into this place. That's what the yellow sign, the yellow tape, the yellow label tells us. But we overlook it sometimes. And when we jump past that yellow tape onto the red one, we see some things or experience some things we're not supposed to experience. Then we start screaming and yelling, oh, red flag, didn't you see the red flag? Oh, I was supposed to see the red flag. But I decided to look past it. Now getting into that red zone, it's where everything would now start looking like the world is on top of you. You're carrying too much weight. This thing has surpassed your own energy. You can't breathe. You know, God help us, or God help some people. Once they get to that red tape, they're unable to withdraw, they're unable to go back, they're unable to rearrange or retract themselves for whatever they've put themselves into. And often this happens in relationship, and sometimes in life. Because I'm not a relationship coach, so I'm not really going to speak much about relationships, but we're talking about life in general now. I've heard the word red flag since since I was a teenager, and people have not used it in a nice way. And everybody starts saying, oh, especially on the internet. When you go on the internet, you see people, work people, they want to use. Need you see the red flag? The red flags are always there. Don't wait for the red flag. Don't wait for the red flag to showcase itself. Look out for the yellow flag. If it's in a relationship, sit down and discuss with this person you're about to go into a relationship with. If you're seeing those cautious signs telling you, sister, brother, this is this, that is that, can you go further with this? It's a caution sign. Try and talk about it. Don't just barge into it and feel like, when I get there, I know what I'm going to do. I'll change this person, or I'll change this situation, or I can go ahead with it. Red is danger. Red is danger. God help us. Once we get to that red zone, for us to get back, or to retract ourselves, or to retrieve ourselves, or even our mind to get back to that same state of mind, it's very, very hard. But please, when you know or you feel you are at that red zone, the red flag, when you feel you're already there, you need to speak to people. Speak to a counselor if you can afford one. Talk to people you trust who can help you withdraw yourself from that situation, because this is what makes some people fall into depression. Some start thinking of suicide. Some start thinking, no, they're not worthy, or they don't deserve good things. That is the zone. It's the red zone that makes you think about all this. But I want to burst your bubble today. There is always a yellow caution sign before getting to the red flag. There is always a yellow caution sign. Please look out for it. Always. If you're a teenager, you're an adult, are you a woman, are you a man, are you a teenager who's about to go into something, please look out for the caution sign. It's still better when you are at that caution sign, the yellow sign. It's still better and easy for you to pull back, for you to withdraw yourself, for you to stop that thing that's going to make you go further and further into danger. It's still very much easy when you are at the yellow sign. But why not just look out for the green sign instead? Sometimes this thing is twisted. We are sometimes the red flag, but we don't realize it. Now this podcast is saying, sit down, have a deep breath, think about it. If the situation is going somewhere, sometimes we're always the problem, but we don't want to think of ourselves as the problem. We always want to see the other person, or maybe even this podcast must have prompted you to think, oh, it's that person. But wait, have a deep thought. Breathe in, think, am I even the red flag? Am I the one trying to put somebody else in danger? If you feel that is the situation, please turn back, turn your ways. You can be a good person. Your mind can be clear and can be free of anything negative or sort. Remember, I am that your inner voice telling you there is always a solution. There's always a way out of things, especially when it's getting close to danger. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Let me know what you think by clicking on the link. And yes, our followers and our subscribers are increasing by the day. Don't forget to press the follow button and to subscribe to my podcast. It's free of charge for now. Don't wait until it starts getting to the paid version. I remain your humble host, Omo, and this is The Child in Me.